Am I live? Hey, Brad Barfield here with ESA Staffing and Screening. Today I'm on the East Campus of South Arkansas Community College. SouthArk, it's called SouthArk. We're at the Center for Workforce Development, and what we're wanting to do on our tour of schools of South Arkansas is show people the types of training and educational resources that are available to them. We didn't really know what all these guys here offered up until just very recently. We went on a tour. Dr. Carter grabbed us and carried us on a tour through the facilities, and was just amazed by the environment with which people are learning about the new tech jobs that are available out there. In fact, that's another aspect of why we're here, is that the manufacturing sector has really taken off in the past several years, and we have more and more manufacturing, assembly, processing jobs. But there's a little bit of a difference. Some of the jobs have changed, and what schools like SouthArk and other schools that we'll be touring do is teach people or train people with the right skills to be successful in today's work environment. See, they work closely. SouthArk has been known to work very closely with employers of the local area, and these employers in the local area are sometimes Fortune 500 companies, but they're learning the skills that they need to be successful. And not only that, they can get skills pretty quick. There's a technical certificate program. There's associate applied science degrees, and of course the programs that we're going to look at today are process technology. It has a technical certificate, but also an associate's degree, and you can build upon that with the bachelor's degree later on. Of course, what that means is that you can go in and get one level, a certificate or an associate's degree, and start working, and then of course add to your education as you go. And we also know here at this particular school they're offering various types of apprentice programs and some new ones that are in the mix as well. Of course, anytime you go into an associate applied science, there's going to be some classroom teaching, but there's also a huge amount of on-the-job training here. And we're going to look at a couple of those programs here, specifically the process technology. And then, of course, there's other programs here. There's automotive repair, there's welding, there's industrial tech, and I think we're going to look at that one as well. And then there's also for people that are just getting into the workforce, or maybe have some challenges. There's the Adult Education Center over there, right down the hill from us, and they work with the industrial wage program, and that's a really good program. But we're going to go in now and speak with Mr. Ray Winnicky, and he's going to carry us on a quick tour of the facilities, maybe get an idea of what the classroom environment will look like once you get involved. And getting real close. Here, Mr. Ray. This is Ray Winnicky. He is the. Can you introduce yourself?
Yes. I'm Ray Winnicky, Dean of Career and Technical Education here at SouthArk, and I work mainly on the East Campus, where we have a majority of our technical programs.
Yeah, and they say you're as far as the students, you work with. If I understand, you guys work with everyone from high school students to people that are already out in the workforce. Can you kind of give us an idea of what kind of programs you have here available and who your students are?
Sure. Right out here on the East Campus, we have mainly, again, as I mentioned, the technical programs. We have process technology, industrial technology. In fact, we'll have a chance to see both of those here in just a little while. We also have welding. We have automotive. And included in all of that, we have a secondary technical center, and what that is it's kind of a high school within a college campus. And so we have high school students, juniors and seniors, that come to us from all 5 area high schools, and they're able to take the programs and courses that I just mentioned a moment ago for both high school credit and college credit. So it's a win-win deal for them and for their parents. So again, we have high school students on campus. We also have adult students in these technical programs.
That's excellent. And of course, South Arkansas Community College. Now, can you tell us a little bit of difference about what community college means versus a technical school, or is there any differentiation?
Well, we're really a full-service two-year college. We have both the academic side, which is mainly housed on the West Campus downtown. So many students pursue their first 2 years of college here, then they can take those 2 years and they can transfer to a 4-year university. Another difference is, of course, that we have our highest degree would be associate's degrees. We issue those to the students that complete the programs. We also have agreements with several of the area four-year colleges to accept our two-year degrees in pursuit of a four-year degree. So it's, again, another opportunity for our students to gain further education.
One question that everybody's going to be wanting to know about is maybe some various funding opportunities for helping them get through school. You have a financial aid department here, I presume.
Yes, we do. Our financial aid department is located in our student services area, which is in the El Dorado Conference Center on our West Campus. And they have a variety of ways to assist students. They've got scholarships available. There's also Pell Grants that the students may qualify for. There's just a lot of opportunities for our students to come to school. You know, financing should not be an issue. And so they can just visit with our financial aid folks. That's probably the first step that they need to take if they're concerned about what it's going to cost me and how are we going to pay for that and so forth.
That sounds excellent. So I'm excited about showing off what you guys have back here in the process control department. Can we go back there for a little
Sure.
bit?
We'll head that way.
This program is process technology's been around for several years, hasn't it?
Yes, yes. It's been around at least around, I believe it's 7 years.
7 years, yes.
At least that's how it began. And it was really a combination of cooperation between industry, between the school, and also with local government. The room where we are right now houses multiple kinds of pieces of equipment that our students will use. One of the main pieces of equipment that's right behind us here is called the HOT Units, Hands-On Trainer. And this particular unit can be put together as it is here, and our students train on this. High school students, college students, adults, they train with this unit in operating processes. Now, we don't use chemicals or petroleum products and things of that nature because of danger of issues. But what we have here is we use water, and we move water from one place to another. We pressurize it, we heat it up, we cool it down. That simulates the kinds of things that happen in industry. Now, with the chemical plants in the area, with the petroleum folks in the area, wood products, those kinds of folks, they have all kinds of processes going on, and we train students to become process operators. So they'll actually work with this equipment while they're here in school. We also do training for workforce, incumbent workers that are currently working at plants that need update training or new training. They can come in, and this is the exact kind of equipment that they will see in the workplace. That's what's so good about the training.
Yeah, they're getting troubleshooting skills right there from the very beginning.
Exactly. That's one of the main things is to find out issues, troubleshoot, and then fix it right the first time.
Yes, sir. So there's a control unit for this.
Yes, yes. This is the hands-on part, and so in just a moment we'll step up the hall and look at the person that's going to control what goes on in here. Second door. Yep, here we go. It should come right on. Now, what we try to do with all of our programs here is to simulate the workplace, because that's where the students ultimately going to be. And here we have our control board. We have students, typically 2 students, that will sit here. The 4 display boards that you can see here represent the equipment that we just saw in the other room, the hot unit. Every valve, every tank, every line, every pipe, those things are displayed here for the operator to control. And so what typically happens is, if something needs to change, if a valve needs to be opened or closed, they can do it from here, or they can actually, via radio that we have right here, a two-way radio, we can tell the technician in the other room to change something, to check something. So again, it simulates the workplace, where the person sitting here looks at a digital image of what's going on in the field, but sometimes it takes a person to go out and hands-on and look at things, fix things, and diagnose things. So this is really the best of both worlds. Our students get hands-on training both in the control side, but also in the side of working with those valves and those other kinds of technologies.
And when they're through with this program, these are good jobs. I mean,
Oh, yes.
You're not out, just
We, our employers are seeking people with the skills that we teach. They cannot get enough. So what we have to do is to train the workforce for the kinds of jobs that are out there. So the technical skills, the knowledge, the troubleshooting skills that we can teach over a 2-year period in our associate degree program, those students are very well able to go out and begin their careers at a very nice wage.
I saw there's a statistic somewhere where one person, I think, that went through this program earned several $1,000s the first year out of school.
Well, I know that there's at least one. Well, there's several, but we have a student with just a 2-year degree right now earned first year out earned nearly $80,000 in 1 year. Now that includes some overtime with that, but for a person with just a 2-year degree in process technology, just starting out, that's a pretty darn good wage for South Arkansas.
I grant you it is. Now let's just kind of look, if you will, let's just kind of swing the camera around.
Okay.
This lab it looks like it's pretty state of the art.
Yes, what we try to do, there is a lot of chemistry, there is a lot of science that goes into some mathematics, that goes into what our students will learn. Heat transfer costs folks a lot of money in these companies that are out there. And so we teach students a cooling tower, for instance, how we take water that is hot and how we cool it down with a minimal cost. Back here is our distillation unit. Again, what happens at Delic here in town with the crude oil. It's a distilling process, and we teach that here with water and a mixture of rubbing alcohol, those kinds of things. But the concepts are the same. We're also have a heat exchanger. We're always exchanging heat, again, trying to either capture it, use it again, so that we don't spend a lot of money, creating heat. So these are just some of the things that we deal with. We also have some simulation software where our students will work with, for instance, the control panel that we had seen just a few moments ago, that will allow them, the instructor, to put in problems into a system, and then without anyone getting injured, because we're dealing with a computer simulation, they can diagnose and make the correct move with what needs to be turned off, what needs to be turned on, so that you don't have any kind of accident.
So apparently there's a lot of time spent in terms of touching things as well.
Yes. Yeah, the majority of our time is, now don't get me wrong, we do have our book work. We have to have the concept, the theories, but there is a lot of hands-on, because that's what those students, graduates, are going to be doing in the real world. They're going to be going out in the workforce. They're going to be working at a control panel. They're going to be working in the plant, looking at gauges and diagnosing things. So the hands-on part is very, very big, because that's what they're going to be doing out in the field.
That's excellent. Well, so in here, let's see. This is just unbelievable for me. Like I said, when I first encountered this right here, I was so this, along with the what was the acronyms for it?
Well, that's HOT.
That's hot.
Hands-on trainer.
Yeah, it's hot.
And of course, we have a lot. All of our things are hands-on, but it's called that, and that's a very popular unit that we use for training. Because again, you can talk about things in a class, and that's good to understand a theory, but to actually go out, and so many people learn by just doing something.
Yes.
And so we have a lot of those kinds of things in all of our programs. We have another program that you may be interested in
Yes.
industrial technology. It is in another building, and we may want to just trek over there and see what's going on over there.
We can. I know it's a little bit out of your purview, but there's some other programs that SouthArk is known for. I know a lot of people in the nursing program as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right. We have quite a number. We have quite a number of health science programs. They're all located on the West Campus downtown. And of course, you can visit with student services about any of those. There's LPN nursing, RN, there's occupational therapy, physical therapy assistant, oh gosh, surgical technology assistant, radiology, tech, and on and on. There's so if someone's interested in the health science field, they need to check us out, because again, we have such a good cross section of different kinds of things for those that would want to work in the healthcare field.
Now, I understand as well that there's an adult education center over here as well for the people just getting out. I know I want to
Yes.
talk about that. Can you?
Yes,
Which one do you want to talk about first? Let's
well,
talk about this. This is
okay.
brand new.
You may notice up here on the right we have our new Advanced Manufacturing Technology Center, our new AMTC, which is going to be completed hopefully in about a month or so. We certainly will have classes there come the fall. In fact, the area where we just came from, process technology, that will move up to this facility starting in the fall. So brand new classrooms, brand new, the hot unit will be moved over here. Now you may notice that out behind the building there's actually a rail car.
Yeah, we do.
For some of our incumbent workers, we're going to be training how to offload and onboard.
Yes.
Of course, we're just going to use water, but that's a big part of a lot of our plants in the area that have things delivered to them and that they ship out via the rail car. So that's just more of the industrial kinds of training that we have that's directly related to the workforce.
That's excellent right there. Those are real world skills right there. That's something that
Exactly. There's actually 150 feet of rail track there, and we have that rail car brought in. A lot of assistance from local industry in putting these things together, both with equipment and finances. So it's been a great time for us as we move out into our new facility, and that of course will open up more room in this building for other things that go on in the workforce training. One of the things you mentioned a moment ago, we'll go ahead and walk on over to our other building, but we also have our Adult Education Center is located here on the East Campus. And for those that for whatever reason did not complete high school,
Yes, sir.
they have the opportunity to come out here and pursue their GED. And we have a lot of students that do that. Because again, that's what some employers are looking for, is high school diploma or GED. And so we give those students, those adults, the opportunity to come out and complete that.
I've heard employers in El Dorado, Arkansas say that they really like the wage program. In fact, they'll take it sometimes in lieu of a 2-year degree in some cases.
Well, we have what we call there's the wage certificate. In this case, our industrial wage certificate. It's a training program that folks can go through, and it teaches them workplace skills. It also assists them with their reading, with their math, those kinds of skills. And so when a person completes that and they get that certificate, what happens is that they're proving that they are at a certain grade level, that they have gone through the training for job search and resume preparation and things of that nature. And so many of the employers in our area actually look favorably upon the wage, and some require it to even get an interview.
Yes.
Because they know that person that completes the wage is going to be a lot better of a candidate to interview. So we have that here in our adult education area.
You don't know how long
in teaching the wage.
You don't know how long it takes to get the wage, and it's like 2 or 3 weeks.
Well, it depends on where you test in, on what skills you already have. It could be a matter of 2 or 3 weeks, but for someone that may test in a little bit lower, it could be a matter of 2 or 3 months.
Yep.
And how hard they want to work.
Yes, there you go. And a lot of that's done online, as I understand. Now, with your other program over here, like the process technology, what percentage of that, is there any of that done online? Is there, or is it
well, we are, it's interesting you say that, because we are actually putting together a couple of what we call hybrid courses. They won't be ready until next year, but what we're looking at there is a course being taught partially online and partially in the classroom, so that a student does not have to come to campus as often. So we're looking, it's kind of difficult though, because if you think about it, most of our things are hands-on. And so you have to have, it's hard to do hands-on via the internet.
That would be kind of difficult. Here we go.
Well, we do have to keep in mind this is our spring break week, so there's a lot of work going on behind the scenes to get ready for next week.
That's good. And we most certainly appreciate the opportunity to come in and look at this. It's a very fascinating school for sure. Got some health services. Hey guys.
Yes, this building houses our high school health science program, and also one of our automotive programs. But our other one that we want to talk about is our industrial technology.
Look at all this.
Now, in this program, our industrial technology program, we teach students how to maintain equipment that you find in today's modern workplace. One of the things that we're very proud of is our industrial technology mechatronics assembly line. Now, this is a smaller version of what you might find in a real plant, but it has everything that a student would need to work with. Simple things such as hydraulics, pneumatics, electrical. We do have, as it gets a little bit more difficult, we do have robotics. You can see one robot here. These 8 units run off of PLCs, so our students will actually learn about operating and programming PLCs, how to diagnose PLCs too. So it's, years ago it might have been someone that was in this position might have been called an industrial maintenance person. But in today's world, it's really industrial technology, because they have to know the skills that I just mentioned a moment ago. It's more than just hydraulics and pneumatics. It's robotics. It's also electrical. Our program of study here has 3 electrical courses in it that our students will take over a 2-year period. So electrical is very, very important. We're going to be adding an instrumentation course to this program, because our industry partners say that our graduates need to understand instrumentation out of this program. There's other things that our students will do. We have hydraulic trainers here. We get into 3D printing. We have 5 3D printers that we utilize, and our students will learn to make parts, to put parts together. We really believe that there's a big, bright future for 3D printing, and we're going to be covering a lot of that as time goes along. These other units here, the blue and the black units here, are PLC trainers. Again, portable trainers that we can take and we can train our students on. Again, our industry says that we've got to have people that understand PLCs and how to work with them. And so we work and train, again, on equipment that would be similar to what they would work with in the workplace.
And I see that this device here is almost ubiquitous inside of all the facilities, the computer screen.
Well, yeah, this is what we call an all-in-one. This is the computer and monitor all together. One of these will be utilized to run one of the 3D printers. And so it's all, we also have, let me see where that thing is. Oh, it's actually over there, but we have a scanner, and you can place an object on this piece of equipment right here. Again, and when it's hooked up to the computer, it will scan that object that you put there, and then you can actually print a copy of whatever it was that you placed there to be scanned.
Fascinating.
And so it just kind of depends on what the material is that you use to print with. We use a form of a plastic that gets heated up and placed into the printer. In fact, here's it's a roll of just our fiber, and what we have there is I can print something white, or I can change this out if it needs to be red or blue or what have you. And there's also different kinds of materials that you would use for different kinds of items that you would print. One of the other items that we have that our students will work with is our robot.
See, those are in workplaces for sure.
Yes, you'll see this at plants around here. Now, most of the ones that you'll find out in the workplace will be larger than this,
Yes.
but the concepts are all the same. And so when our students, again, you can imagine we have 11th and 12th graders that will work with this unit, but we also have adults that will work with this unit. And if they learn how this works, how to program it, how to tell it what you want it to do, they can work in a plant that has the same thing, the same type of robot. So again, the training here mirrors what they'll find out in the workplace.
It's definitely not the last generation of manufacturing jobs. It's definitely changed up.
No, that's correct. Our jobs are more technical. They need folks that have a higher level of skill, and so we're working on changing that paradigm, if you will, to where these aren't greasy, dirty jobs anymore. They're the folks that can do these kinds of things. Again, they do very well financially, and it's very satisfying. And again, we're talking about a 2-year degree. We do have certificates of proficiency, which typically take 1 semester. We have technical certificates, which again, most of the time take 2 semesters. But then the best thing that we have to offer is an associate degree, and that's 4 semesters, so it takes 2 years. But we have internships available as part of the program, both in industrial tech and then where we just came from in process tech. Students have the opportunity to sign up and actually go to work in these facilities around us for a paid wage. So they can learn, firsthand what it takes to get the job done. And it gives the employer a chance to see the student, and they'll probably may want to visit with them once they graduate.
Yes, sir.
Because again, they're looking for full employment.
Yes, sir.
So it's a win-win deal for our students.
Well, so we're getting kind of close to the end of it. I appreciate your time so much. Now, if someone's interested in it, we're going to have their website and such posted with this video. Is there any particular people they need to talk to if they were to call, or how would they go about getting with you guys?
Well, the first thing I would say is to figure out maybe what they're interested in. In our student services area on the West Campus, we have specific what we call career coaches, advisors, and they're separated into certain programs. And so if you're interested in our technical programs that we have here, I would call student services, and our advisor there, she does a fantastic job, Miss Alejandra Munoz. And I would give Alejandra a call and set up an appointment, come visit with her. She'll talk with you. She'll take you through to financial aid, and they can work out things like that for you. We can also set up a tour if you would like to come out here personally and tour the facilities that we're looking at today. If you want to see it in person, we can handle that as well.
That sounds good. Is there? I think that we had a great tour. We got to see several different programs. Start out with the process technology, the hot room, and the hands-on training. We went to the control room for that. Looked at the new what was the name? The new facility.
It's the AMTC, the Advanced Manufacturing Technology Center.
Advanced Manufacturing Technology.
And that's going to be up and running later in the summer. But full bore this and this program, all the things you see in here will be located in the new facility as well.
Sounds awesome. And then, of course, we talked about some other programs here, the Adult Education and Wage program that are here. There's some really good resources for people with maybe a couple challenges in their work history or ready to, maybe do something different. And that can be a leg into the other programs here as well.
Sure.
Presented.
Sure.
Well, once again, we want to thank everybody for viewing our video today. Thank Mr. Ray Winnicky for your time today.
Thank you very much.
And we hope that you picked up a little bit of information about this program. And once again, we're going to try to post all of the information for Ms. Munoz inside of the comments so that you can contact her if you need to. We do appreciate your time. Thank you.